It's time to update your kitchen just for you. What colors and styles do you like? What features and functions do you want? What can you live with and what can you not live without? No matter which service you choose, Kitchen Tune-Up will make your kitchen look and feel transformed. Schedule a free consultation and let's create a kitchen that inspires and uplifts you. Kitchen Tune-Up. Update, upgrade, uplift.
Hey, elite entrepreneurs and empire builders, welcome back to Fran Opps Live. I am your host, Jared, and this is the show where we connect you with vetted and qualified franchise brands and faces behind them so you can franchise your future with confidence and clarity. It's what it's all about. And today's guest, I am genuinely honored and super excited to welcome. Heidi Morrissey is the president of Kitchen Tune-Up, the #1 ranked kitchen remodeling franchise on the Entrepreneur Franchising Top 500 list for 2025. And she's a leader of a brand that's been transforming kitchens and changing lives for over 35 years. She's also the founder of its sister brand, Bath Tune-Up. Now, hang on till the very end of the interview today, because at the very end, I'm going to show you another video, a sneak peek, so to speak, of a little highlight of Bath Tune-Up and get a feel of that concept as well. But today we're talking specifically with Heidi about her story and a little bit about Kitchen Tune-Up. And with more than 270 territories across the United States and Canada, Kitchen Tune-Up is known for 5 in-demand service lines, a low-cost home-based model, and incredibly high profit margins. We're going to dive into all of that. It's helped hundreds of entrepreneurs. This is not a brand new thing that just got started. They have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs step into ownership without needing any prior remodeling experience. Under Heidi's leadership, the brand is it's really grown. It's innovative, and it has won award after award. You can go online, just Google this for yourself. Their list, this massive list of awards and recognitions. And not just for like their performance, but awards for their culture, awards for their support, awards for their excellence in franchisee satisfaction. That speaks volumes in and of itself about who they are as a company. Heidi has been recognized herself as a wow legendary woman in franchising. And you're going to know why. As soon as you hear her passion for this brand, you'll understand exactly why. Now, whether you are brand new to franchising or whether you've been in franchise ownership or business ownership for a really long time, whether you're starting out, you're an experienced entrepreneur looking for your next rock solid, recession resilient opportunity, and you want to be in a booming $500 billion home improvement space, this is one you do not want to skip on. Let's franchise your future. This is Fran Opps Live.
We knew that our house had a little bit of an aged look and we were looking to spruce it up a little bit. Hi, my name is Sayuj.
I'm Preeta and this is our Kitchen Tune-Up story. Kitchen Tune-Up, they were wonderful.
We were able to plan it, get everything lined up to get our kitchen back.
I wake up and this is the first place I love coming to. I'm so glad that this beautiful kitchen is now part of our day-to-day life. Happiness is the main factor.
Heidi, welcome. Welcome to the greatest Facebook group in the metaverse. I'm so pumped that you're here with us today.
Oh, thank you. I am so glad to be here. I love talking to people about Kitchen Tune-Up. It's great.
Yeah. Well, you should. Absolutely. Right. And I love having individuals that are passionate about their brand. I mean, but like there's a point to that not everyone is, unfortunately. For some, it's a job. It's a part of their career path and might be a good one. But to be passionate about it, to have it like ingrained in your bones, I think is unfortunately unique and rare. And so I'm excited to have someone. I've never met someone so passionate about kitchens, and so I'm excited to really hear about your story too. Seriously, thanks for joining us today. And let's just start there. Can you tell us a little bit about your story? Tell us, how you got to where you are. Were you born the president of Kitchen Tune-Up? Is this like royalty, or how did your story lead you to where you are today?
Yeah, well, it's a deep story for the family because my dad actually founded the company in 1988. And I really had no interest. He had a cabinet business prior to that. And I was kind of going my own path. I actually was a teacher, and then I started a direct sales company in Wisconsin, was doing my own thing. And I was winning a lot of awards with what I was doing. And my dad's watching me and he's saying, you should come and do this over here. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, Dad, I don't know really anything about this brand. Like, I don't think that it would be a great fit. And he said, well, just come and try it for a year, see what you think. And so I joined in 2003, so about 22 years ago. And when I came in, I really was thinking it was short term. I was going to help him turn around some training. I was going to help him get his sales and marketing on track. Mm-hmm. And I fell in love with the franchises. More than the industry, it was the franchise owners. I'm looking at these people saying they are risking so much. They're putting in their own money. They are trying to make an amazing business. And I just wanted to help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so started out doing a vice president of marketing and sales, and really helped to change the brand and what we were looking at, and then became president in 2017. So it was kind of a really natural transition. It was something that, you know, I live and breathe and sleep this brand. We joke that we bleed orange here.
I like that. That's so good. I mean, that's so you started out as something that was in your skill set. Like, this was your experience. You had done sales for marketing for a long time. You started your own company in it, right? Yeah. And so, and so you started in 2003, and we're in, you know, be a part of it, ingrained into Kitchen Tune-Up for, say, you said until 14 years, something like that, correct? 2017. Yeah. And then stepped into the presidency role. I think that says a lot about the kind of a company and leadership behind Kitchen Tune-Up. For any potential franchisees watching that are hearing this, like, it's not like they went out and just hired, you know, a fractional is a fractional president, I think, but a you know what I mean, someone out that's not been a part of this before to come in and start doing stuff. This is what you've known for such a long time. How has your skill sets and the way you lead, how has that changed? How has that evolved? Because it's a completely different thing from, you know, SVP of marketing to being the president of the company. So how have you seen really your leadership style evolve as your brand has grown?
Well, I love to read. I'm a learner at heart, and I probably read a couple of books a week, as well as I just, you know, I love anything I can learn online, YouTube, wherever I can go. Yep. And so I probably was a lot more hands-on early on. You know, really just kind of, I was on the field a lot. I was going out on sales calls, developing processes, and I was really, you know, kind of living it with them. And as you evolve, you know, what got you here won't get you there, which is a book I love to look at. So I had to start to, you know, really develop my team, really start to look at how do I take the team that I have and help them to create those avenues and the control and the, you know, the responsibility in those areas. And so that's what I spend the bulk of my time today doing, is really working with the team to help grow their skill set so that they also can be leaders, and they do an amazing job. I have an amazing team. Everyone, the franchises call us the homies because they're the toonies. And so they love how the homies continue to support them and evolve, and, you know, we keep on growing. And we ask our franchises to do the same. I also want them to have a growing mindset.
Yeah, that's so good. What? Okay, so talk to me more about that. The kind of franchisees that you're looking for, and so like for your corporate team, your leadership team, you clearly looked at, okay, I've got to focus on this core team of people that are going to lead this brand to the next phase, whatever it looks like. They need to be the right kinds of people in the right seats. Do you take that same mindset then with franchisees? And are you guys particular about the kinds of franchisees that, you know, you want to see come into Kitchen Tune-Up?
That's evolved also, Jared. What we used to look for and what we look for today has changed. Okay. So as we are looking to grow in the franchise, we are now looking more for people that want to grow a business, that want to scale. What does that look like? So I would say early on, it was an owner operator. Now it's not. Now it's an owner manager, somebody that wants that bigger, larger business where they're actually developing people so that they can scale and grow also. So obviously people that are coachable, people that have a great outlook on life. I always say that, you know, if there's an Eeyore out there, there's probably a different system for them. Because I mean, we like to have fun. We like to laugh. We like to enjoy our time. And you don't do that with people that aren't already glass half full people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a tune up, not a turn down, right? So you need that kind of individual. But so yeah, you're looking for people not that are interested in the job, right? They're not looking for just a full-time, job that they're stepping into, but that can build a business and wants to continue to grow. Now, you guys have been around for a while. I feel like a lot this summer, right? We've been bringing on FRAN Opps Live only brands that were ranked within the top 100 of the Entrepreneur 500 list this past year. And many of them I talked to, that one of the biggest issues that our clients and our candidates that I'm working with are seeing is lack of territory. Is that especially with some of these brands that are so well known, they've been around for 3 decades plus, like Kitchen Tune Up, is they run into a territory issue. Is that what you guys are experiencing as well, or or is it different for you?
We have about 900 open territories just in the US that are available. And the reason that's the case is that there was a time period, probably for 12 years, where my dad kind of pivoted from traditional franchising and we worked with like Sears stores. We worked with different partners, and it really wasn't traditional franchising. And so we didn't really scale and grow as fast as we could over that 10 to 12 year period. So it was almost like a rebirth in 2018. And in 2018, we kind of went back to the basics of franchising and really working with consultants like yourself, which we hadn't done for many years. And so that really changed the trajectory of where we were going. So we still have great territory available, and we are always looking to continue to grow, whether it's somebody wanting to come in with a couple of franchise territories or whether they want to grow into a business developer.
Yeah, that's so good. And as we mentioned too, you guys received tons of awards, tons of recognitions, maybe more than any brand I've seen, to be frank. It's insane. But we're talking today because of your placement on that Entrepreneur 500 list, and people can think whatever they want about it. The fact is, you're on it. So my question is, with over 8,000 different franchise opportunities people could invest into, and I feel like half of those are in the home service space. It's a big industry. What really, for those listening now or even later on that are watching this later on, what really do you feel like has set your brand apart to be recognized within the top 100 of the thousands of options that are out there?
Well, here's the thing. 37 years we've been in business. 36 of them we've been on the franchise 500 list.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Good for you guys.
This is the first year. The first year we got under 100 though. We were number 88 this year. And this is the first time. It was a goal of ours. It was a goal of the whole franchise system. We talked about it in one of our town halls. And I said to the franchises, I believe we can break 100. And they all said, you bet, we can do it.
That's so great.
When you look at, I don't really, people think sometimes you have to pay to get on that list. I've never paid $1 to get into the entrepreneur list. So I don't know what that is. I know they look at financial stability. I think that's critical. There are more franchisors that sometimes go out of business than franchisees because they do not have the base of financial support that they need. And so I think that financial stability is definitely one. I think there's other things where they rank and look at, how many franchises are you, opening? We sell a franchise, we open a franchise. You're never going to see a list where you sold them and then they're waiting some magical time in the future that they're opening. That's not how we do it. We sell, we open immediately.
Good. Yeah.
They're usually starting to do jobs within a week after training school. So there is a big delay of getting started and getting launched. I think that's a critical piece of this. I think that if you look at the longevity of a brand, how does a brand stay around for 37 years? A lot of it is really due to, we're not really focused as much on the product as some people in this industry. We're focused on the experience, both the franchisee experience, but also the consumer experience. So consumers will forget that they're before of their kitchen, but they won't forget how they're treated. They're not going to forget the daily gifts that we leave. They're not going to forget how we were interacting with them and their families and their pets and how we took care of their homes. Those are the things that they don't forget. And it's what they talk about the most.
Yeah, it's how you made them feel. That's the lasting impact for sure. Wow. Yeah, that's so good. Now with that too, with Kitchen Tune specifically, what do you feel like most people misunderstand or don't understand about what it really takes to become a successful franchisee?
Well, I think that most people now, because I think we're very clear about our expectations, but if I was somebody that had not heard of this brand before, they were probably thinking about this. They're like, well, I probably have to be in construction to to do this kind of a business, or I should be somebody that really understands how to get work done. And that is really probably the biggest misunderstanding is that there's a lot of people out there that are really good craftsmen, people that we can hire. Our franchises need to learn how to be great business owners, how to become scaling business owners so that they can actually get what they want, which is typically work-life balance. That's a big thing. And ultimately, you want to make money. I mean, you can't say that you're running a business and you're not trying to make money.
Right. Exactly.
So you might as well just put it out there.
Yeah.
Profitability.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be honest with it. Like, and we tell people all the time that like, I'm, and even like for me as a franchise consultant that works with people all the time, try to help them find something like, hey, I've built this business myself. Right. And I've gotten into this for two reasons. Like, one is I want to make money, but two is I really want to help people achieve their own goals of business ownership. And so I love the transparency there. Like sometimes people skip over that or try to act like it's not about you. You have to, you have to be about trying to make money. It's not the only reason. It may not even be the biggest or primary reason, but it's got to be a big focus of it too. And you guys clearly, I think, are doing a very successful job at that for sure. How many franchisees do you currently have in your system?
172, I believe. We just got done training, so I want to make sure I add everyone in. So we do have lots of multiple, owner franchises. That is something that they either, some people start out that way. Some people grow with time as they continue to develop their business. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Let's zoom in a little bit if we can. What is, you mentioned you started in 2017. In 2018, some things shifted. You have, a lot has changed. What's one or two things you feel like decisions you've made that have really moved the needle forward for Kitchen Tune-Up? What's something that had to shift to get you to the top 100? You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I would say that we leaned into technology. I love my dad. He was a great founder and a great starter, but he was not a fan of technology. I tell people that many years he would ask, do we still have to have this website? It's kind of expensive. And I would say yes. So I leaned into technology hard in 2018, including bringing in an operating system that we were able to customize for the franchises. I knew I needed something that was not out of the box. And so that was probably one of the biggest things we did for scale, because what happened before, the franchises had to do so much repetitive work, paperwork and filling out like spreadsheets, and it just was a waste of time. And so how can you scale? So being able to bring in an operating system that literally does the touch points from start to finish, I believe was a game changer. It's when we started to really see the franchises go to the next level. And I think, quite honestly, probably the biggest decision I made was when we sold the company to Home Franchise Concepts. Because knowing that if we kept it family as it was, that there would always be some friction on where to spend money, how to grow. So I looked for somebody that would really have growth mindset and that really looked at this as more investment, less about kind of crunching and squeezing to the bottom line. And so that was a very intentional decision, because I definitely had offers from private equity and from other types of companies. And I did not get the same sense of what the future was going to look like as I did when I talked to Home Franchise Concepts. So
And when did that acquisition happen?
It was the very last day of 2020.
Very last day. So during the pandemic.
The pandemic was going crazy. I launched my new brand, Bath Tune-Up, and gosh, let's go do some due diligence while we're at it.
That's so good. So you launched Bath Tune-Up during 2020.
Yes, I did.
Wow. I mean, a lot of home service brands really took off during that time too, because people were home and they wanted to, beautify or invest into their home as well. So that makes sense. So is Bath Tune-Up then also a part of Home Concepts?
It is. Yes. So we have both brands there. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that relationship and like, what does that mean for the benefit of a franchisee, considering Kitchen Tune-Up is or Bethune, they're a part of this company called Home Franchise Concepts. Can you talk about what the benefit of a franchisee would be?
Yeah. So what it means for the franchises is that they're going to have deeper access to things like technology, marketing, more relationship with suppliers, because now we can actually go at the suppliers to negotiate with multiple brands, not just with one or two. Now we can go 5 or 6 brands. And so we're able to have those deeper relationships. There are a lot of talent that you can have in a larger organization that a smaller organization just can't afford yet.
Yeah.
We couldn't have a CMO. We could not have, a CFO even. I mean, we couldn't have a lot of that. Having that and that ability for us to lean into those learnings, as well as having those co-presidents that we can talk with and we can bounce ideas off, because so much of franchising, really, especially in the home service business, we're kind of hitting those same issues at the same time. So we're able to collaborate and really have a broader brain trust, let's say, to make some decisions and to think through items.
Yeah, absolutely. What's, speaking about your franchisees then, what, of those that, everyone kind of breaks it up differently, but I'm sure you have top performers and there's clearly things that they're doing differently than, some of your bottom. And so what separates them? What are some of the things about the DNA of your top performers that really sets them apart from everyone else?
I believe everybody that buys a franchise has a risk level that maybe somebody that doesn't buy a business does not have. Here's the secret. Can that risk level continue on as you are growing and scaling? Or was it just the one door risk level and now I don't have any more?
That's so good. Yeah. Right. Do they have is it, I just wanted to take one leap and then I'm going to get comfortable with where I'm at. If I take it, do I lose everything I've built, or can we get to the next level? Yeah. That's wow.
So it's almost like you have to have almost a history of being able to take risks, of really trusting in yourself and trusting in a process. I know that probably most franchises are like top performers are following the process, and that's true. But they also lean into the systems, they lean into the support, and they are not scared of marketing. Marketing is, the lifeblood of any business. And that is what they believe that also. So it's some of the questions that I ask when I'm talking to potential franchises. It's just to try to understand in their life, where have they taken risks? Has that built the muscle or did it weaken it?
Yeah.
Because the risk, made them more fearful, or did the risk make them stronger and say, you know what, I'm going to keep going? Yeah.
One question is about the marketing too. Like, what do you tell people that come to you going, hey, do you do all the marketing for us, or what? Because I just had a conversation this last week with a potential candidate who decided to not move forward with an opportunity because they didn't do the marketing for them and to generate leads for them. And that part terrified. They didn't want to do anything. They thought, I'm paying you all this money. You don't generate the leads for me. What's going on? So what do you tell people about marketing with Kitchen Tune-Up?
So it's a kind of a hybrid. So you have your local area marketing that really can only be done locally. And then you have your national advertising. And those are things you can pool those dollars in order to get that brand recognition and do things that are a little bigger. But with the local area marketing, what's nice about it is that we have partners that could do all of it for you. Yeah. And we actually have a toolkit, and it tells you what you need to do daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. And so whether or not you want to say, all right, I'm hiring an admin and they're just going to take this playbook and they're just going to do everything. Yep. Which is an option to do that. Or am I going to pay an agency that's going to take care of all of my marketing for me? So I think everyone comes in with a different appetite around marketing, sales, operations, accounting, all of those things. And so you can only wear so many hats before you start to look a little silly and probably feel a little bit, weighed down. So at some point you have to figure out what your superpower is, and then you need to delegate for the others. And I think that's where you get the support of a franchise, helping you to see something that either you don't see in yourself, or perhaps that you think you have, but maybe you really don't. And you need to have a really great relationship with your franchisor so that we can have those honest conversations.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant. I think a lot of people get into franchising because they don't want to go into business by themselves, right? They don't want to be on an island all alone. But I think a lot of times people think that means they are here just to serve you as the franchise owner, which in a lot of ways you do. You serve the franchisee, you serve the franchise owner. But to think about the relationship in only that kind of one way transactional relationship, I think does a major disservice to both the franchisor and the franchisee. That the franchisor is not just, for everyone listening, franchisor is not just there only to serve you, but they want you to be as successful as possible, meaning they're going to coach you. They're going to open your eyes to your weak spots that they're seeing that you're not, your blind spots. And those things are difficult. So as a potential franchisee, you need to be thinking, am I, like you even mentioned earlier, Heidi, is this person coachable? Mm-hmm. Can they follow, yes, a playbook, but can they follow kind of the guidance that a franchisor would offer as the business continues to grow, going, hey, you've got to make a change here. You are failing in this way. Here, how are we gonna move forward? And so I think that's a, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think a lot of people, they are successful in their lives at their jobs, which allow mm-hmm. them to buy a franchise. So let's say I'm a successful engineer, and I've done so well in my life, and I've done such a great job with my finances. I now can buy my own franchise. And so here's what has to happen. And this is the challenge. I have to shed the skin of an engineer. I have to become a franchise owner. And if I bring too much of my engineer in to trying to like re-engineer things, to look for what's wrong, all of a sudden now I'm using an old skill set, which was very helpful to get me where I was. Right. But I have to leave that skill set behind and really learn new things. And, whenever we're thrust into a new environment, there's always a little bit of that, uncomfortableness that comes from that. And I always tell people there's nothing that we do is hard, but here's what you have to retrain your brain to think. It's not hard, it's new. And so new makes us uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. 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 I like that. Yeah. It's not hard. It's new. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and new can be hard, but to think about it as only hard. No, you're missing the key part. It's just new.
It's a block it's the brain, I think about the new iPhone when I get it. And I remember when they removed the home button, and I'm like going, this is so hard. And I'm like, no, it's just new. Because by the end of the day, I'm like, don't even remember the home button.
Yeah. Because nothing about the phone from that point on changed. Like, it's just your mindset changed about it. You learned about it. It became really simple. It became second nature. And think about it now. I don't even process it anymore. It just happens. So yeah, wow, that's good. I like that. I'm gonna steal that. Okay. Your company's been through so much. You guys have have achieved so many milestones. Let's kind of end this way. What's next for Kitchen Tune-Up? Where are you taking this company? Is it, now we're going to get in the top 50, what's the big goals for you guys moving forward?
Of course, that's always a goal, is to just see if we can do better than last year. We have a saying in our office is, today we're the best we've ever been and the worst we'll ever be. So continual growth, continual improvement. And even if it's a small improvement every day, over a year's time, it's pretty amazing. Over 37 years times, it's even more amazing, if that is how we're always living and growing. So obviously profitability is number one for our franchise owners. That is something that we're continuing. I want wildly successful franchises that are wildly profitable. I want to make sure customers are raving fans. I want them to say, this was the best experience I've ever had. In fact, I didn't know in home improvement there would be a company like this. And these are all things that I've already heard, by the way, but I'd like it to become well known. I would like to continue to grow that thought so that it's all over and people know about it.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that, man, talk about a mic drop. Thank you, Heidi. That's so good. Last question for you. Tell me a little bit about Bath Tune-Up. I have a video I want to show people, but I want to give you a second to talk through Bath Tune-Up and kind of compare it to Kitchen Tune-Up. Are they really one and the same, just different parts of the house? Or, is it different? Is it a different kind of franchisee? Or is it something people can look at bringing both on? Or tell me a little bit about that.
About 20 of our Bath Tune-Ups are Kitchen Tune-Up owners also. So definitely, when you think about the home and improving, which rooms do you think about? The bath and the kitchen. And we did baths for a while at Kitchen Tune-Up. We just didn't do a lot of them. And I remember having my bathroom done, and it was such a horrible experience. And I remember thinking, we could do this better. We could build a brand that was cooler than this. because they kind of thought I was a decorator and they made me go choose things. And I'm like, oh, we could do this better. We can have curated baths already ready. We can have things from, just like at Kitchen Tip, multiple services to hit different points of budgets so that we can actually start up right away. We aren't going to wait for the great big sale. We can start with smaller sales and get, kind of cut our teeth on those. And so when I started Bath Tune-Up, it was really this idea that we were going to have anything from custom to curation. We thought that was really important so that the customer comes to us and tells us how involved do they want to be. And the other thing that makes us really different, I think, in modeling is that Kitchen Tune-Up, it's much more of an employee model. Bath Tune-Up is much more of a subcontracted model. And so between those two, those are kind of the differences that you might see. Yeah. And so even if you're running two different brands, you may be running the model slightly different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so because of that shift, because now Bath Tune-Up is its own thing, can Kitchen Tune-Up owners do other rooms outside of kitchens or exclusively?
So they do now, right? So think about cabinets anywhere in your house, laundry rooms. You might look at, even built-in entertainment centers. You can be doing offices. And so many places in the northern, they have basements. They have a basement kitchen too, right? So there are things, and they could also do a bath vanity if they'd like, because it's a cabinet. And with the tune-up, they do woodwork throughout the house. So that could be windowsills or anywhere that there's woodwork that hasn't been painted, right? That's ready.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So most of them do not really want to visit the whole bath remodel space because they don't necessarily have the suppliers on hand, nor do they have the right training and people, because we have a lot of waterproofing that we teach. There's a lot of things that make our brand really different at Bath Tune-Up that set us aside from everyone else.
Yeah. Wow. That's so good. Heidi, I want to be respectful of your time and our guest time as well. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And friends, if you're listening right now, you're watching right now live, or you're even watching this 6 months from now, and you want to learn more about Kitchen Tune-Up and see if this might be the right next step for you, and you want to begin seeing even if you qualify for this brand, let's start there. Type right now in the comments, type Tune-Up below to get started, and we'll reach out. We'll get a conversation going, and we'll explain some next steps to you. We'll send you a message. But all you got to do is type Tune-Up right now below, and we'll get those conversations rolling. While they're doing that, Heidi, sincerely can't thank you enough for your time, your investment into this group, your wisdom and leadership and business development, and all that you've given and shared with us from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
So good. And maybe we'll bring you on again to talk just about Bath Tune-Up. Maybe once, especially when Bath Tune-Up gets in the top 100, we'll make sure we see you again here inside the Facebook group. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, friends. Thank you. Until next time, we'll see you later. This is Fran Opps Live. Bye.
You remember your grandma's bathroom from 1968? It was that bathroom. We are the Mans.
And this is our Bath Tune-Up story. We chose Bath Tune-Up to help us with a couple different bathrooms in the house and our laundry room. They put it all together. They came up with the design. They listened to what we wanted in terms of space.
It's everything that we wanted it to be.
Turned our laundry room into one of my favorite spaces in the house.
I think the heated floor saved our marriage.